Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here today. I told y'all, everybody that's involved in this whole Young Dolph setup, they either get caught up or they get sent up. Well, it seems like this Young Dolph case is bigger than what we all think it is. Not just because this is a high-profile case pertaining to an individual who made himself a multi-millionaire in the rap game, and also through investing in business adventures in his city of Memphis, who goes by the name of Young Dolph. Again, we already know that he was set up in his own hometown, but this is really dealing with those who are allegedly involved with Young Dolph being taken out at the cookie shop. We already know about Govin, Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, just like we know that Yo Gotti, Big Jook, and Black Youngster was also involved as well. But again, dealing with this one, I'm talking about the Scorpion Unit. I told y'all about them assisting Yo Gotti and his brother Big Jook take out Young Dolph at the cookie shop. And dealing with that, the Scorpion Unit, they played a major part by augmenting reports, hiding evidence and camera footage. Plus, they set up in that parking lot the whole time watching the play on Young Dolph go down to make sure everybody was in position and everything went as planned. And on top of that, we all know about what the Scorpion Unit did to T. Nichols. Rest in peace to that man, because it's all on video. But see, the Scorpion Unit, their criminal activity goes further than that. Understand, anybody who wanted to come forth about the whole Young Dolph setup, who was either shopping at the Family Dollar, washing clothes, or even at the gas station, if they wanted to inform the people about what really happened that morning of November the 17th, 2021, based on what type of information they was trying to report, they was either ignored or they was told to mind their own business or else. And we already know what that or else means. But dig this. Guess who wanted to expose what they seen when Young Dolph got set up at the cookie shop? Yep, Jeremiah Taylor, the one who kept Young Dolph Memorial area clean in front of Makedas, and T. Nichols. See, both of those guys, they was gonna tell it all. But the Scorpion Unit, they couldn't have that, so they took him out. But it gets even deeper than that. There was someone else who was gonna come forth and expose everything the Scorpion Unit did dealing with Young Dolph, Jeremiah Taylor, and T. Nichols. And this guy who I'm talking about, he was taken out as well. And he spent 30 years on the department. That's crazy, right? Before we continue, let's show some love to the King of Memphis and say rest in peace to Young Dolph, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in Dolph Land. To all my folks in Dolph Land, I know y'all missing a real one out there. But trust me, y'all will soon get justice for Young Dolph's untimely demise. Especially with the feds looking into the Scorpion Unit and the people at Makedas. We all know that Dolph was a real one, and it messed a lot of folks up when they heard he got sent up. So while y'all at it, go ahead and drop those Dolphs in the comments and show your love and support for Paper Route Frank. With that, rest in peace to Jeremiah Taylor and T. Nichols.
It's so crazy, y'all, but the conspiracy continues to develop. Now you have a third person being taken out who was going to provide information regarding the T. Nichols case as well as the Young Dolph case. And we're talking about someone who was on the MPD department themselves. And that's none other than Mark LaShore. Now, Mark LaShore, he joined MPD back in 1992. And before then, he was also an officer in the Army. So his law enforcement career stems very, very far back before some of those men on the Scorpion Unit were even born. And so, as the story goes, he joins the force in 1992 with the MPD, and throughout that decades, he's upholded a certain standard of duty. And as everything unfolded with the T. Nichols case, he was one of the few officers to come forward and supply additional information as far as behind the scenes and what's going on in MPD, with a lot of different reports and evidence that shows that there was some tampering with evidence that happened as it relates to the T. Nichols case specifically. But we all know that this officer also was ready to supply some information regarding the Dolph case as well, because that's in relation to the same Scorpion Unit that were moving together and doing cricket activity time and time again. And so LaSure is noted to have spoken to news reporters multiple times related to the T. Nichols case and the Scorpion unit specifically. We should also make note that as soon as he issues some reports about the sinister activities going on with the Scorpion unit in 2023, he turns up deleted in his own driveway. And get this happened back in early July 2023, but somehow it's not being promoted or even highlighted on any sort of news reels or outlets. So why is that?
Again, that goes back to what I stated from the beginning. This whole situation is bigger than what we all think it is. Because now we dealing with people up that ladder, you understand? And once them people up that ladder get involved, they gonna make some moves that best fits their agenda. That's something y'all gotta understand. And guess what? Young Dolph, he was part of that agenda. Because as we all know, Young Dolph, he purchased a lot of land and properties in Tennessee. Plus, he was putting a lot of youngsters on, where they was in a position to take care of themselves and their families, turning them into thousandaires and soon to be millionaires. So that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So now that we got somebody who was part of that department who got sent up based on the information that he wanted to share. And again, not only him, you had Jeremiah Taylor and T. Nichols. See, a lot of folks don't even know the reason why the Scorpion unit even did what they did to T. Nichols in the first place. But I keep informing you guys, you had certain people who was shopping at those stores in that parking lot that morning. They seen what happened and they wanted to come forth with that information. But again, they were persuaded to not do so. But that's the reason why we're trying to let you guys know. You really had some people out there who was either on the department or some regular civilians who was trying to get behind this whole Young Dolph case, especially if they witnessed what went down. Now you guys can understand that these people were all intimidated by the Scorpion unit. But see, a lot of folks don't know is that you had a lot of complaints filed against the Scorpion unit from the residents in Memphis based on all the bogus criminal activity that the Scorpion unit was involved in.
And so all of this bogus activity has been going round and round for years as it relates to the Scorpion unit and the MPD pockets of corruption that has been evident in how these different cases have been handled. And so I want to point everyone's attention to the fact that LaSure himself happened to retire from MPD in what year? Yep, you guessed it, 2021. Isn't that coincidental that he happens to retire the same year that Young Dolph was sent up? And now, as the Young Dolph case is continuing to unfold and all the different people that were put in position to make sure that that play happened at Makedas, now is when LaSure turns up deleted in his driveway. We have to pay attention to the timeline here and understand the reason why these different things are happening at the time that they're occurring. LaSure himself stated that there have been an influx of officers leaving MPD over the past few years. And so notice he didn't say retiring. He said that officers have been leaving MPD. So that goes to show you that possibly LaSure himself could have been forced out in the same way because he didn't want to go along with the different bogus activity that was happening on the unit.
It seemed like LaSure knew a lot of people had their hand in a cookie jar pretending to making a bag of criminal activity. That goes back to what I always say, and that's black men, we gotta do better. We have to value each other's lives better than what we doing. Because what's going on here, it really don't make no sense. We have to do better by one another. If not, then we can't blame the youth on what they continue to do. So with that, always be aware and always stay prepared. But hey, we got more in store. As always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.